democratic state was that thing that we built, but that we told ourselves this is the one that we control. So it's not like the God, it's not like those other idols.
So you can look at a geometrical pattern and read meaning into it. It had an emotional quality.
They're made out of something, and they move, they change. Like, they don't stay what they are. They're constantly evolving in front of you into something more and more beautiful. It's very weird.
I don't actually know what ingredients we've got, but I'll find something to make.
Yeah, I'm sure we've got primula.
Yeah, we have, and I'm pretty sure we've got philosophy.
Perspectives in order to suit their own narrative. That I think that this, ultimately, all this angst, and you see it from the outside, and you look at it and you go, what the
This podcast is called Under the Skin, and it's a sort of an investigative and inquiring podcast where I found one, even though sometimes I talk to people from academia, people whose expertise is in for example, politics or sociology, I feel most at home when I'm talking to people about our nature as individuals and our ability to change and alter our
BEVs, by the way, and imported cars as well. So it's always are on the way down. It's always worth to digging into the data a little bit more before you panic and say Norway's hit peak EV. It won't hit peak EV till it's at 100%. That'll be the same as everywhere around the world. Hey, good news, by the way, if you're looking forward to buying a Polestar. Let me remind you. It happens to have a battery, or it happens to have a fossil engine. Who cares? Just want the car. Should EVs celebrate technology, bring it front and centre, like Model 3s, like Teslas do? Or should they hide away their technology? What do you reckon? Let me know. Email me. hello@evnewsdaily.com is my email. Actually, have a maximum distance between them of 120 miles. The CEO also reaffirmed that Electrify America will indeed begin to employ plug and charge. The plug and charge technology is going to be employed by Electrify America before the end of the year. Plug and charge is a new global standard, an ISO standard, which identifies the car. As a multitude of auto manufacturers are already working for existing EVs ready to utilize the new technology. In addition, have just gone through the high voltage training, and there's big demand for them all around the company. People are snapping up these people who are now trained within the VW group to work on high voltage things. But what about batteries? Let's go to China. As the US president pushes for more things to be built in the USA, instead of in China, the push to build electric vehicles there comes as the rush for batteries persists. Just can't make enough of them. And China holds the lead in lithium supply over the US, writes Zach for InsideEVs.com today. According to Bloomberg, both countries are investing heavily in other countries that are rich in lithium mining. On their homes, their garages, their outbuildings, they are technically classed as micro generators.
So it wasn't just the electric car.
There is a category
Best
for
car.
electric cars, there's a category for plug-in hybrids, but there's also everything else.
It stands up still to this day.
Just immaculate piano work, really intricate drumming, good vocals. None of
Isn't it funny? That little thing that's very consciously made.
And that's these guys, the director of performance parts at General Motors, Russell, is an awesome video which link to.
Oh, Black Betty, damn along. I'm so sorry, I'm just very nervous.
Move along. Don't worry, that was just Chris Boyle. It's David Attenborough.
But I'm stood like a...
That van just used the turning lane to overtake and then went around the bollard. Why is he having to go all the way over to the left?
Is it one lane or two?
Like I was clearly in front.
The door,
meant to point it out to you, but then there wasn't time. But the door was proper scratched up in our bedroom, so I guess some of the dogs haven't been as happy as Mackie in there.
Came over to my lane.
He can't drive, can he, that one? I don't know what he's doing. Oh, and now he's back in that lane. Oh my Christ. What are you doing?
It's a solid white line. Like,
I don't know why we need to swap sides.
Behaving the way that really big, multinational, one of the world's biggest companies really should be behaving. And in fairness, they held their hands up. They didn't admit to do anything wrong. They said, look, the point is...
serious?
They stick to their point. The Audi E-tron can hold maximum charge speed for longer.
Poor baby.
But
Go on,
they
move
do
out
hold
the
their hands up
road.
and go, you know what, yeah, we didn't attribute where we got the data from. Yes, the data, we did misrepresent it.
I think we come from that
actually
house.
changed
Now
the
he's
axes
running
and things
off.
like
Silly
that, the
cat.
labeling. Not a good look. Not a cool look. And they are also, as you can imagine it, when you go through the comment section, for people who are still stinging from Dieselgate, they're taking a kicking in the comment section as well. The internet can be a rough and tumble place. I get on very lightly on this podcast. I do put myself out there and make content every single day, and I'm largely as part of a supportive, positive community. But my goodness me, the internet can be a brutal place, and people are not holding back in the comments sections. Look, I'm going to throw a link in there because it's a long read, but if you're as interested as I am in this whole thing, wow, that's super interesting. Let's move on to your Patreon supporter, by the way, and even if you're not a Patreon supporter yet, you can, of course, contact me through the Patreon platform. I get those come through as direct messages, and they sit within that platform, so I do try and check that all the time for messages as well. Are you a Bolt owner? Would you like to buy a Chevy Bolt? What about a new crossover that's built on the same platform? Alongside the Bolt, the new electric...
Achat une pizza. You're on the wrong side of the road, mate. It's English? No.
you can get caught out by that sort of stuff.
Someone got confused.
But it is that way, and but the ultimate reality is absolutely beautiful and blissful and filled with love, packed with love, and everything is fine.
Of course.
Everything is fine. And one day they say we wake up from this. The analogy is that coiled rope on the path, and we mistake it for a snake. But it's...
It will have happened, yes. So I'm at the Hay Festival, Hay Literary Festival tomorrow, with sitting on a panel with Jesse Norman, who is a British